Hi, welcome to Edotgdot and Friends. I'm Elden Killian, your host, and today I'm going to be ranking every board game that I've played in the last 10 years. I'm an avid board gamer. I started tracking my plays 10 years ago in November 2010. I noticed this as I was looking through some stats. I thought, hey, wouldn't it be fun I did just rank all of my games? Every year, I kind of rank my top 10% as a kind of a personal thing. I used to publish the list. I don't anymore. But I don't know, 10 years in, it feels like an anniversary of sorts. So I'm going to go ahead and rank all of the games. Without further ado. So this is video 1 of 10. This is the trash of the trash. This is the bottom 10%. I've played about 657 games that I've tracked. I actually am going to shoehorn one in, so it's actually going to be 658. But you will not see it on this video today. But without further ado, let's get on with the show. Worst game I played in the last 10 years, Old Maid. Stupid trash of a game. So dumb. So dumb. So dumb. I don't even have words. If you like Old Maid, good for you. I don't. Jungle Speed Rabbids. Jungle Speed is one of these games where you are flipping over cards simultaneously, and if you notice that there is a match set, you try to grab the token in the middle. Jungle Speed Rabbids adds a little rabbit token, which is actually really cute. It goes on top. I think the production of this game is actually pretty cool. It comes with the soft token, so you're not hurting each other. The little rabbit thing on top is cute. I just hate the game. I hate the game so much. It's so dumb. It's so hard. It's so not within my skill set, and I just hate it. If you do like it, that's great. And for my first controversy, the next one on the list is Jungle Speed. I do count these as different games because that little rabbit thing does change the game a little bit. It's still basically the same game, but that little rabbit thing is an extra rule, so I'm going to call it a different game. I still hate it, though. My friend Tim has a copy of this game with the wood token, and man, you can hurt somebody. But it's just a game of pain, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Circus, abstract strategy game. I played Blocus, and I found this at a thrift shop. And not that I love Blocus, but man, more than this. Of all the abstract strategy games, which I'm not a huge fan of, this is the worst one I've played in the last 10 years, and probably forever. Penny Drop. So this was a gift I received from my friend Shane, who found it at some game store. It's kind of a cool production, nice wood box. It has this cool little wood die in there. But you just put pennies in there. You roll the die until you get rid of all your pennies. It could take a minute. It could take an hour. And there's rules. Anyway, you drop your pennies in, and they're gone. Penny drop. You build Mousetrap. It's Mousetrap. It's kind of cool concept and production, but it's just Mousetrap at the end of the day, and it's just not a good game. BGG ranks at 18,550 with a rating of 3.9. I probably have a little bit lower than 3.9, but that's pretty bad. Hello Kitty Red Light, Pink Light. This game, it's not even in the database. My guess is probably a variant of something else like Candyland. It is slightly different, though, than Candyland. You're just drawing cards, and they tell you what to do and how many spaces to go. And sometimes you don't get a move, which is why this is so low. Because otherwise, there's a little fun component of it where if you draw Pink Light, you get to run back and forth. And I actually recommend putting the other cards in the other room. So you have to run back and forth, and you have this little secret decoder thing that you put on it, and you read it, and then you have to run back and move that many spaces, and you can as many cards as you can run back and forth and get. You can do. Again, it's rewarding people who are quick, little kids up and move really fast. But it's just a lucky game when it comes down to it, and not a great production. Jenga. Just not good at Jenga. I hit it, and it falls down. I don't know. Jenga. I've actually bought quite a few Jenga sets from thrift stores over the years. I like to make dice towers out of them, and I've made some like little shelves and stuff. But that might be a story for another day. Set. Man, I hate Set. Terrible at it. It's a game where you're flipping over the cards, and everybody's looking to find a set, which kind of breaks my brain because it has to be 3 things that have one thing in common, either the number or the color or the shape, but there can't be 2 things in common, and you can't have 2 things that fit. I can never do it. I'm terrible at it. I realize that's a bad reason to rank a game so lowly, but I'm just so bad at it. I hate the game. I hate it. I end up playing it quite a bit, though, with my game group because they played a lot. Ruse and Brews. This was remade recently. It has a different name. Royal Gambit, I think. I found it just really random. It's hard to plan. Maybe if I played it again, I'd think more highly of it, but probably not. I don't want to try it again. Pocket Lint. I don't have a picture of this. This not in the BGG database. I played this at Game Storm in Portland. I think the guy I played with was the designer, and it was just designed. It's a little micro game. I think it's 1 card and some change. You can play it with some coins. And you're like moving things around or like placing coins and like trying to get things in a row or block off whatever. Abstract strategy, not my type of game. Kind of a cool little like micro game idea, but I don't know. I felt like it was just a kind of a basic game. 5 Crowns, by far the worst rummy game I've ever played. Something is like too easy there's like a bajillion wilds in it or something, and it just, I don't know. I don't like it. I mean, rummy's rummy, but I can't do 5 Crowns. I'm sorry. For the makers of Set, they're on a roll. Unstable Unicorns. Cute cards. Just not a good game, in my opinion. I know some people have a lot of fun with it. I do not, and it is what it is. Creeps of Keister Island. This is another game I played at Game Storm, and got busted in games. I think they're the people that make like Redneck Life, and all their games are kind of weird. And anyway, back when I was younger, we used to play this game just with face cards or rook cards or whatever. And it's where you're like looking at cards and you're trying to swap them out with the deck until you get a low score, and then you try to get out, and hopefully you have the lowest score. I don't know. When I was 12, it was a good way to pass the afternoon as an adult. I don't know. I could never play that game again. I'd be fine. Cranium Kidoo. This has these little Kidoo pieces, which are kind of cool, these little plastic X things. And you're trying to, I think you're trying to get 3 in a row on there by completing tasks. And I don't know. I felt like that part was all superfluous. I don't know. It's a trivia, Pictionary. It's Cranium. I don't know. Not a huge fan. Clue. So the idea of Clue, the deduction of it is fine. The game of Clue has some problems that just really bug me. I have kind of this love-hate relationship with it. One, I love the movie. I love that whole character. I used to be in theater, and I did the Clue the musical, and the characters and all that stuff. All that is fun, but the actual gameplay, I'd stab myself in the eye with a fork, then play Clue. Nuns on the Run. People like this game. I do not. The hidden movement aspect is not my favorite. I feel like even when you play well, you're just kind of guessing. I don't know. I don't know. Just don't love it. If you do, good for you. The Inventors. This is a sort of like a Candyland type game. There's a roll and move. You're going around the board. It has this cool little thing, like where you punch the cards in there and it puts this little metal clip on it. That thing was kind of cool. But other than that, the game, not really a game, not much. Game of life, basically the inventors, or the inventors is like the game of life. I don't know. The spinner's fun is my positive thing I'll say about it until it breaks. I like the version where if you're like the IT guy and the spinner breaks, if you fix it, you get some money. I just think that's a fun little thematic, whatever. But not enough for me to actually like the game. I'm sure I played this with a nephew or niece or something who really wanted to play it. Hand and Foot. I didn't realize there was a production copy of this. My sister just plays it with like 8 decks of like poker cards, and it just takes forever. Not a whole lot of decisions to make. I don't know. If you want to pass an afternoon and make 0 decisions and have a good chat with your siblings, this might be the game for you. Castle Panic, man. People really like Castle Panic. I got to play it once. I heard a ton about it, and so I kind of came up with some high expectations. And as a co-op, I didn't think it was that great. I felt like it was hard. Some of the rules were clunky. Maybe if there was like somebody came in like streamlined a little bit, I would give it another chance. Just didn't enjoy my play of it though. Broom Service, the card game, man, I hate this game, and mostly because I had such high expectations. I really liked Broom Service. You'll see this in another video, not today, because I quite like Broom Service. And I got the card game. I thought, hey, a quicker way to play Broom Service. Actual Broom Service, I think, was hard to find at the time, and I didn't have a copy, and I picked this up. Ugh, a waste of money. Alexander Pfister did not do this right. Pictionary, the card game. Kind of an interesting concept of how to play Pictionary. Pictionary is a pretty terrible game. This little card thing can be interesting. But when I played it, it fell flat with everyone at the table. Just wasn't a great experience. Castle Blast. This is kind of a cool toy. As a game, I didn't feel like it worked very well. But it has this like a little crane and have this built-up city, and you're trying to hit pieces out without hitting things out. I played a demo copy at a game store, and I'm not remembering all the rules to it. Interesting toy type concept as a game. Just doesn't work very well. Ninja versus Ninja. You'll find out I don't love these 1 versus 1 games that have a lot of push-pull, whatever. And this is just sort of like trying to get your ninja over there. I don't know. Didn't like it. Some people like it. The person I played with really liked the game, and I didn't like it. Make and Break Extreme. This is like a 3D version of Make and Break, which is kind of a neat little game where you're getting cards and you're trying to build the structures with the pieces. I picked this up secondhand because my kids really like the Make and Break original version. This one was too hard or something. I don't know. I generally enjoy Make and Break, but this one, I don't know. Something didn't work about it. Big Bang Theory Party Game. This is like apples to apples, but with Big Bang Theory theming and questions and words, and had a good time playing it. But I don't love these types of games where you're kind of playing to the humor of the person who's choosing, and I don't know. It is what it is. Igloo Pop. So this one is a cool little kids game where it has like these little mini igloos, and they have little balls in them, and you try to shake them. You try to figure out how many are in there. And I don't know. The sound thing, like the actual game of it, I felt was too hard and like too like not interesting enough to me to hold my interest. The kind of the toy factor and like the cool like little table presence of it was interesting, but not a great game for me. And in the same vein, Mord Imarosa, and I think people really like this game, but it has like a little tower, and you drop cubes in there, and they get caught in the tower, and you're trying to listen to where they fell, and then you're trying to pick which floor and trying to get those cubes. I'm terrible at it. It's probably a better game than I give it credit for, but for me, not the game for me at all. BIOS Genesis. It's probably cheating just put it on the list because we didn't even finish the game. Rulebook was hard to parse. Slow, clunky. Part of me would like to go back and actually try to play the game and get all the way to the end. But the other part of me was, man, that play was so tough and so difficult to get through to the point where we got and did not seem fun that I don't want to go back to it. Anyway, BIOS Genesis. I think there's a new version coming out. Lignum. This is probably the best game in this bottom part. Like a gamer's game. Let me tell you why I hate Lignum. The first half of the game is just a struggle to stay alive. And then maybe you score some points in the second half. Like the whole first half of the game, I feel like you could just cut out. Because you do all this work and you end up having to give away all your wood away so you can burn it. You literally burn the wood in the game. I guess figuratively, but like you're burning it for heat. And you did all this work to try and get it, and for so little payoff, and you spent an hour and a half of your time doing the stuff that you just throw away. Feeding workers, this is like extreme. It's like feeding workers, but to the max, and it's so hard, and it takes so much time. And like the other thing about it is like there's things that you have to do in order to survive that first half of the game, and there's very limited spaces and like resources, and you can just get out, like you can just be aced out. Somebody will get aced out of it in a 4-player game, like and you're just done. Man, did not have a good time with this game. I know there are people who love this game. I know there's people who really like it. And if you like games like that, you probably should give it a try. But not for me. No. Apples Junior. Again, it's apples. You're giving cards out and you're trying to... I play this with my kids. It's good for their reading and like learning new words and like what they mean. As a game, though, I don't know. The first time I played the regular apples, I was like, oh, it's pretty fun. Every play after that, I just liked it less and less. Meme the game. Same thing, basically, except for with pictures. And the first 10 minutes of it is funny. You laugh at all the memes and make up your own memes. But as a game, again, it's just apples to apples, basically, and don't love it. Off to the Tower, little kids game. I thrifted this game and played a couple times with my kids, and that was a long time ago, and I'm not remembering all the rules, but it's sort of a roll and move, but it's just kind of a funky little thing. Not a great game. Roll and move, you're moving these little pieces around. The little wood butts and stuff were a novel to me at the time, and whatever. I don't know. Not a great game. Kuduk, this is like basically Uno. Again, this is a game I thrifted a long time ago. You're just getting cards, but there's switches and there's swipes, and you're trying to spell out Kuduk, however you say this thing, with the letter cards that you get. Basically Uno, but worse. Game of Thrones, Hand of the King. There's just something about like the math in this game, like where you're trying to position yourself, and whatever I do, it's like always wrong. I don't know. I've played it a couple times. Both plays didn't work for me. I might give it another try if you give me like a couple years and let me forget about it, but no thank you. Waterworks. The coolest thing about Waterworks are little metal pieces. In fact, I just thrifted another copy of this because it was nicer than the one I had before, and it had all the metal little wrenches. I will probably never play this game again, but part of my collection, I like to collect cool boxes. And Waterworks is definitely like a cool box and like cool component thing. But you're trying to get these pipes and get the right pipes to match up with your thing. And there's some spatial stuff out there. Not a great game for me, especially. Rat-a-tat-cat. This is basically that golf game again, but the cuteness of this makes it better than Creeps of Keister Island. Basically the same game though, and I played it with a kid of a friend, and she made it a little more enjoyable. So that's why it gets a few extra spaces on the thing. But I don't know, not a great game. Candyland. It's Candyland for all the reasons that everybody else dislikes it. Total luck. Random. Sure, I played this with a nephew or niece or something. Wanted to play it. Candyland. Bowling dice. Roll the dice. See if you get the right things. Played it once. Never playing that again. Bang. A lot of people like Bang. I've only played Bang proper once. Was not fun. Dragged on for a long time. I got out of the game and then I waited a long time for these two people to go back and forth. And anyway. I don't know. Maybe if I played it again, I'd have a little better opinion of it. I've also played Samurai Sword, which is going to be I actually rated a little bit higher, so I don't think it ends up in this video. But Word Frenzy, I think I'm the only person on Board Game Geek who has played this game. I think I'm the only one who owns it, and I think I'm the only person who's rated it. When I originally rated it, it was kind of early when I got on Board Game Geek, and I kind of gave it an inflated rating. But man, this game, it has like this speed element where you're trying to make a 4-letter word with your hand of cards, and then you get to grab the little soft tokens. The little soft brick things are kind of cool. And I like word games. I like, in general, I like-ish word games. Not my favorite, but I do like playing with words and stuff. This one is, like, the speed of it, like, one person can go really fast, and if you're later in the circle, like, you can get, like, backlog. You can get, like, a big stack of cards if you're going slower. And if you're past that person, you can just, in the rules, I say you can, like, reach over and just grab the cards from the other person's stack, but that's kind of weird. I don't know. It seemed like where you sat on the table gave you some advantage. And that kind of just detracted from the game for me. But I don't know. Word Frenzy. Poker. I don't know. There's something about poker. I believe there's a lot of skill in poker, and like it's not a 100% luck game. But I don't know. It's just not good enough for me to want to play it. I played it a few times with people wanting to play. I never played for money. Always just we handed all the chips and we go until all the chips belong to one person. I don't know. I'm not a gambler, so. Operation, again, same reason I like Jenga. It's hard. I don't have a steady hand like that. And we're gonna, I don't know, it's Operation. It's a fun little activity. The noise is annoying. I don't know. It's Operation. Rummy. So just like the basic Rummy or Jim Rummy. You know, it's a way to spend an afternoon with family. But I don't know. After you've played it a few times, the strategy is there and you just know what you're trying to do. And it's just passing cards around. Yahtzee Jr. I have thrifted a lot of copies of Yahtzee Jr. For the cool chunky dice with the stickers on them. I keep them in a box. I don't know. Every time I see one, I buy it. But as for the game, with kids, it's a good way to play Yahtzee with kids without having to do all the numbers and whatever. But I don't know, just rolling dice and hopefully you get the right thing without a lot of strategy to it. Checkers. I've never liked checkers ever since I was a kid. it's one of those games that if you're playing with somebody who's better than you, they're better than you, they're going to beat you. The strategy is more it's heavier than the amount of time I've wanted to put into it to figure out how to play it well. But it's just these abstract. I'm just not a big abstract strategy person, and so checkers just doesn't appeal to me. Ooga Booga. This is it's like a memory game where you have to remember what everybody did, and there's these cards, and they make you say different words, like caveman words, and you try to remember what everything was said, which is kind of fun. The hard thing is it's hard to remember what it was. Like you have to call it out, and but it's hard to remember. Like, did they do it right? I don't know. And then you challenge them, and you go back. Oh, I guess you did do it right. Wait, what did you actually say? I don't know. It has some problems as a game. Fun little activity for 10 minutes, maybe. Newton, this is like a 4 in a row game. But it has like this gravity thing where you can take from the bottom and put it on the top. I'm pretty sure I just played this as a demo at the game shop. But we did play all the way through. 4 in a row. I don't know. Pengolu, this is a memory game. This is a really cool penguin-shaped thing where they're hiding little eggs underneath these little wood penguins. It looks really cool. The pieces are really fun and cute. It has this die roll thing, though, that I think kind of ruins the game. I mean, it makes the game be a little bit more than just memory. But, I don't know. It's a memory game when it comes down to it. And you can steal from other people, but it makes it go a little bit longer. But cool packaging, cool pieces. Not a fun game for me. Sharpshooters. This has a bajillion dice in it. And the problem with Sharpshooters, it's almost a good game. Almost. But like you're rolling, you have like this big pile of dice, and you roll some of them, and you try to place them in these different locations, and when you finish up the spot on the card, you get some points. It just doesn't quite... It just doesn't quite get there for me, and it feels flat, and it... I don't know. Like, it looks cool, it kind of is cool, but just isn't quite there. But if you ever want to thrift a whole bunch of dice and you see this in the thrift store, you get a bunch of red dice. Breakthrough. This is the first of the 3M games on the list. I own a lot of 3M bookshelf games. I have not played all of them because a lot of them are games like this, which is like an abstract strategy, trying to, like, one player is trying to breach the defenses of another. I think if I'm doing this, remembering it correctly. It does have these cool like metal pieces that are like brass or something, and they're really heavy, but you're moving them around. I don't know. It's cool. It's a cool box though. Keep it on my shelf. I'll show it to you later, some other time. Bananagrams. This is similar to a game that you will see higher on my list that I enjoy quite a bit more. Actual bananagrams. I think the rules are dumb. I don't know. You're just trying to make words as fast as possible. I don't know. It just isn't quite. It's so much worse than just taking Scrabble tiles and doing a similar thing because it doesn't have any points to the letters. You're just making words really fast, and I don't know. Just not a very good game. It's good for kids trying to get them to learn how to recognize words and letters and stuff. Skip-Bo. It's Skip-Bo. I don't know. It's a way to pass some time. My dad really likes it. I played with him a couple times. Racco. Kind of similar to this. Real simple. Trying to order the cards. This has a little bit more strategy to it. And maybe I'd be a little unfair to it. Maybe I'd rate this a little bit higher on another day. But when I made the list, I was feeling down on it. It's not a great game, no matter how you stack it. I feel like there's a lot of luck to it. I have a friend who has a good story about Racco. I'll let him tell it another day, though. Killer Buddies Quest for the Magic Carrot. A lot like Unstable Unicorns. This game has the weirdest rule where as long as you have a bunny and a carrot at the end of the game, you can win, even if someone did a lot better than you, just randomly. And which is the name of this game. It is just random. Some of the cards are funny, but I don't know. My daughter really likes it. I don't know. Diary of a Wimpy Kid Zooey Mama card game. I think I got this like in a gift exchange or something. But interesting thing on this game, it's sort of like Liar's Dice, except for you get a card that has different symbols on it, and you put it up on your head, and you can see everybody else's stuff, and then you make bids on like sort of like Liar's Dice, like here's 5 cheeses or whatever. I haven't played it in a long time. I just felt like there was a problem with it. Liar's Dice is definitely more fun than this, but it's been a long time since I played this game. Maybe I would like it better if I played it again. But yeah, it's basically like Liar's Dice, though. But you put the card up on your head and you can see everybody else's stuff. And I think that was the part of it. It's like you can see other people's stuff, but you don't know what's on your card. And so there's almost too much information, but then you're missing critical information. And so the other way around in the Liar's Dice, where you have some information, you're missing a lot of information, and you're kind of trying to play the averages. And you don't know what's on the card. You don't know what's on your card at all. I don't know. It just seems like there's some problems there. Spot It. Recognize the symbol on the card. My kids like this game. Spot It, Alphabet Frozen. There are 2 different entries on BGG. So I've played the 2 different ones. They're basically the same. I'm not sure if the rules are actually different, just what symbols are on there. I don't know. Not a good game. Some people really like this, and that's great. I just don't. Telltale, which is kind of in the same line as these little circle 10s. You can see all of them here on this bottom 10% list. This one is more of an activity where you're telling a story together. And I think if you play this with the right group of people, it could be kind of fun. But every time I played it, like the kids were too basic with it. And the story wasn't interesting. And so it was just flipping over these cards. And I don't know. Maybe I just need to play it with a different group. Might be a little more fun. Uno. I just played this the other day. Kids like it. Random. It's dumb. I don't love it. But I'll play it. I'll play pretty much anything with my kids. Dog. Dog. I have played Dog more times than I would like to. Dog is basically Sorry, but you're playing with a partner. I haven't played Sorry in the last 10 years. It would probably rank lower than this. This is slightly better than Sorry. But man, it plays a lot the same, except for you have a little more strategy in the game. But even at that, it ends up being random and being difficult. Yahtzee. Oh man, I played so much Yahtzee when I was a kid. I have a lot of fond memories of being in the motorhome on a family trip, sitting at that little table and just rolling Yahtzee for hours. Yeah, especially after you play it a lot, the strategy just isn't there. You're just rolling dice. I don't know. It's a way to spend some time. I play this with a few people. Family members still like it, so I've played that. Tenzi. How fast can you roll these dice and recognize the numbers and keep rolling until you get them all the same number? That's the game. I've played it a lot. My kids love it. It is a cheap way to get 40 dice, though. If you're at a game store. Dragonfire. This is like a Dungeons and Dragons. I think it's a Dungeons and Dragons branded and themed. I played this at BGG Spring with some friends that wanted to play it. So recently, I've gotten into Dungeons and Dragons with some friends. Don't love it. It's a fine way to spend an evening with friends, telling stories. But this takes the little bit that I do like about Dungeons and Dragons and kind of strips that out, and just running these encounters which seemed nearly impossible, and you're playing the game, and then you die. I don't know. Some of the bits were cool. I did think like it could have been a little higher quality though. I did think that. And this is the last game on today's list. Go. Very highly rated. Ranked 162 on Board Game Geek. I remember when I first got on Board Game Geek, this was definitely in the top 100. And was there for a long time, and is a very old game, and is considered a classic, and is abstract strategy. And I hate it. I don't like it. I wish it would go away, and people would stop playing it. I play this with one of my nephews who is really into Japanese culture and really into Go, and I was glad to spend some time with him. And in the future, I wish to spend more time with him doing something else besides Go. Anyway, this has been the bottom 10% of all the games I have played in the last 10 years, ranked from old maid to Go. And feel free to comment and tell me how I'm an idiot, or praise me because I'm a genius for hating the same games that you hate. Anyway, this has been my show, and keep an eye out for the next 10% where I talk about games who are not quite trash. All right.